There's been more charges against the mother's boyfriend in the Madeline Soto case. It's not good, it's looking bad, and we're going to talk about it in today's video. Hello Sofa Squad and welcome back to the sofa. The sofa's back there, Mr. Roscoe's on it, he's blended into the sofa, and my name is Paul. Like I said, today we're going to be continuing on with the Madeline Soto case. Now this is a quick video. I saw this come up, some of you and I have talked in the comments, stuff like that, so I figured I'd come make a video and talk about it, some of my thoughts. Now a couple of things before we get started. Number one, it is March 13th, Wednesday, so by the time you see this, there could be more updates. I'll get to those, so just understand that if something major has come out, you're going to be like, what? This is old news. It is what it is. This is more or less just a commentary video on this. Also, if you do want to follow Roscoe and I outside of here, we're on Instagram. You can see it on the screen here. It's in the description below, so be sure and check that out. Now, this video is not for the faint of heart. This is dealing with situations against children, and all these charges are that way. So if that is a sensitive subject for you, this is not the video for you. We're not going to go into graphic details and stuff like that, but even just talking about these charges, it can definitely be triggering to some people. So just know that going into it. If you're like, I can't, then this is your I can't time to jump off the ride, okay? With that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to read a press release by, I think, the state attorney or who are the prosecutors, and then we're going to look at his rap sheet and his jail that he's at and just kind of go over that type thing, and then look at some clips as well just to revisit for people who aren't familiar of the mother's interview and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just talk about that. So Madeline was only 13 years old when she went missing. She in fact had just turned 13. Now allegedly what the parents, and when I say parents I mean the mother and the mother's boyfriend, so he's not the parent, are saying is that she was last seen around 8:30 a.m. when they dropped her after school. We're going to listen to a couple of clips in a minute if you're not familiar with this case, just so you can see the back and forthness, because even when I just said when we or they dropped her off to school, the mother and the boyfriend had very back and forth narratives about who dropped her off and all this kind of stuff. They did these interviews and it was very, very sketchy. Now what ended up happening is they did find evidence of situations on the boyfriend's phone that he was doing things to Madeline all the way up back to when she was like 11. So they have him on all these charges, and that's what we'll be talking about today is that. So that's the nuts and bolts of it. At this point, they have not charged him with the big M charge yet. I'm waiting for that, but I'm also waiting to see what happens with the mother, because her story doesn't add up, the things she's saying. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that she did something to her daughter or whatever, but it could be as minimal as it's her trauma response, or she's covering up for the boyfriend, or was. I mean, he probably is never going to see the light of day again at this point, even on the charges they have him on. So there's that. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my little clips here. Let's first of all revisit a quick news clip to just kind of tell us what's going on with the current situation and why he is incarcerated right now.
Newly released court documents revealing more details in the case surrounding 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Investigators say her mother's boyfriend, Stepahn Stearns, is accused of sexually abusing the teen for years. They say Stearns tried to reset his cell phone the day Madeline was reported missing, but detectives were still able to recover what they say are sexual pictures and videos dating back to 2022, when Madeline was just 11 years old. The document reads, upon reviewing the contents of Stepan's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted the missing juvenile.
Bless her heart, and God knows what she went through. So that's where we're at with that. Now, keep that in mind, because what I want to do is, again, I want to revisit a few clips from the interviews that they did. And I want to first start with the mother and just look at just a few quick clips I took out from my last video of her talking and just the statements that she made that just don't match up with what seems to really have happened.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable.
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
All right, so Stepahn, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
I mean, can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Now, I wanted to play those 3 clips right there just to revisit, especially for those who might not have followed this. I dropped her off. No, I dropped her off. What is it? Okay. What is it? Now, we know now he's in jail. Again, I said this in the last video, but I say it again in this one too. The first question they ask him, you seem so emotional. Can you tell us about that? I dropped her off and I did this, and it's like, whoa, we didn't ask for an alibi, buddy. We're just asking why you're so upset, and that's the first thing that came out of his mouth. Let's just, if we can stomach it, listen to a couple of more clips of him just to put us all on the same page before we get into a few of those updates.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day.
Then took the teen to school. But since that initial report was taken, we learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
It's the rubbing his shoulders for me, okay? I wanted to put that in there because, number one, we know he's lying, right? We know he's lying, okay? I mean, number one, they already have evidence and saying we saw her body in his car. She was no longer alive, right? So we know that didn't happen. So then why is the mother saying that they dropped her off, right? But then the way he's sitting there and weeping and crying, and then her coming to his side and, consoling him, I'm just like, that's what makes me sit here and wonder, is she hiding something for him? Almost like blinders. Like, I don't know what happened, but I'm trying to protect him. Now, obviously, he's incarcerated now, right? So whether she knew it or not, she definitely knows he was doing some really bad stuff to her daughter, okay? That being said, let's get to these charges and that kind of a thing, right? Now, again, I've given you a warning, okay? If this isn't the kind of thing for you, this is where we're going to get into some of the talk of the charges. Again, we're not going to get into explicit detail. I'll change the wording around, but just know that this is your jumping off point if you don't like to hear this kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the screen the press release from Andrew A. Bain, the state attorney. So up here at the top, you again see his name, Andrew A. Bain, State Attorney, 9th Judicial Circuit. Okay, then you go below, it says, for immediate release, March 12th, 60 charges filed against defendant Stepahn Stearns. 60 charges. Okay. Osceola County, Florida, on Monday, the state attorney's office for the 9th Judicial Circuit filed a 60-count information against defendant Stepahn Stearns, the person associated with the disappearance of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Remember, at the time of this, I'm recording this on March 13th, so the day after this came out. He has not been charged with, what truly happened to her in that capacity. Any day now, right? Any day. They've got him where they want him. They can collect evidence, right? So we know they're doing this. We just have to be patient. Okay, so Stearns is facing the following charges. 8 counts of S battery on a child under 12, 5 counts of S battery with a child 12 to 18 familial custodial authority, 7 counts of lewd or lascivious M, you can see it on the screen, and 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting S performance by a child, 10 or more images. Okay, so now again, 8, 5, 7, 40, we have 60 charges. Okay, it makes me wonder, and I believe, I don't know how they do the charges, but say if they saw an image or a video or something like this, and they're like, he did this action, say it's the same thing. He did this here, so we'll charge him with that. Then he did this there, so we'll charge him with that. Like boom, 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 boom. But what this tells me, number one, 10 or more images. 10 or more images. This guy has been doing this for a while, and there's no telling. I was watching some video, I want to say it was Vinny on Court TV. It might have been my old pal, Vinny. Not that I know him, but I just, what I'm saying, Vinny. If you watch Court TV, then you know. I feel like he said it, but almost like, what did he have the images on his phone for? Is it like, okay, I'm just going to revisit these for my own, you know what I'm saying, whatever? Or was, he selling them? Was he sending them out? You have to wonder this, right? Especially this amount of stuff. Why was he so comfortable with them on his phone? Remember, he said that, oh yeah, you can look through my phone, but I accidentally did a factory reset on the day that she went missing, right? You already knew something was going to be bad, right? Okay, let's continue on. So during law enforcement's investigation into the disappearance of Soto, Kissimmee police found several images and videos. So there you go. So each action he did in there, they're like, bam, charge him, bam, charge him, bam, charge him, as they should, right? I'm assuming, because that's kind of how I've seen it happen in other things, other cases we followed. Anyways, they found these on his phone and arrested him on charges of SB with a child, capital SB, and possession of material depicting S performance by a child. He is currently being held on no bond, thank God, in Osceola Department of Corrections. We're going to look at his mugshot and all that in a minute. Okay, so State Attorney Bain said the State Attorney's Office has been working closely with KPD and received evidence that gave us cause to file formal charges against Stearns. We appreciate the thoroughness and detailed attention of their investigation and will continue to work with our law enforcement partners to build a strong case against the defendant. Amen. Stearns will eventually be arraigned on the charges. The latest information on court hearings can be found on the Osceola County Clerk of Court's website. SB on a child under 12 is a capital felony punishable by life in prison if a defendant is convicted. Charges of SB with a child 12 to 18 and lewd or lascivious, I'm probably saying that wrong, M, carry sentences of up to life in prison if a person is convicted. If convicted, a defendant can receive up to 15 years in prison for each count of unlawful possession of materials depicting SP by a child. And again, below it says these are merely allegations, presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. So these are very serious charges at minimum. Pretend they couldn't get him on whatever happened to Madeline. Y'all, he ain't. These charges like this, as public as this is, y'all, if he is still alive right now, he's lucky. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, oh, dude, for him, this doesn't go over well at all. Right? At all. I mean, this is the worst of the worst. And obviously, you see how it ended. Very quickly before we go to the next thing, some of my questions obviously are about the mother. Did she know? Whatever. But also, what changed? What made him say, I have to take her life now? What happened? Is she pregnant? Did she tell somebody? Was she going to tell somebody? Did he hurt her to a point that he was going to get found out? These are quite like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what triggered that event? So, and hopefully we'll find out, hopefully justice will rise to the top. Now, what we're going to do is go over and look at his rap sheet and his little mugshot. Okay, so here you see his mugshot, you see all his stuff there, or whatever. Now, you see all these charges. Y'all, it just keeps going and going and going and going. Okay. I mean, it is a rap sheet. There ain't no way this man is ever walking out of jail again, unless some miracle happened where the seas split and all this, and they lost all the evidence or whatever, But there ain't no way. Now you see also he has no bond on these charges, which absolutely right. Can you imagine if they even gave him one? Again, they have him where they want him. So again, with these questions that we've been going over and whatnot, I mean, that's the part that I just really come back to, and that I'm kind of on pins and needles over this, right? I just feel like the bottom's going to drop out in this, and we're all going to kind of have not that we don't already have our mouths on the ground over it, but like, I'm just very curious specifically with the mother. What are we going to see take place with that, right? So that's it. Again, I'll keep updating as I see stuff come forth, or if y'all are like, hey, Paul, like you do, you email me or talk in the comments and things you want me to look into or comment on and that type of stuff. I hope the truth, whatever it is, no matter if it's shocking or whatever, comes forth for Madeline. I think that she probably left this earth in a very horrible manner. No way that a child should, or anybody for that matter, right? But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Again, it's a short video, but it's a short update. And again, hopefully we'll have more coming forth soon with justice for Madeline. So that's it. I do appreciate it. Ross says thank you. He asked you to drop some sofas off down in the comment section, so we'll have a place to sit when we discuss this case and others. And until we do all that, we'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. Also, if you're looking for merch, be sure to check out my Teespring store. I'll put that up here. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.